Greetings, Zombie Slayers, Sleepy Jim here. Welcome back to my solo high-round strategy guide for the map Shadows of Evil in Black Ops 3 Zombies. If you're enjoying this series and if it's helping you, please remember to rate and comment, subscribe if you haven't already. But in this episode, we're going to continue charging the Apothicon egg and unlock the new special weapon, the Apothicon Sword, for the map. So enjoy. So we're just going to place the egg down on this next statue. This one's located outside the Ruby Rabbit. And we're going to try and charge that up. So this is another fairly easy area to charge the egg, in that you can almost train in that spot relatively safely. It's just complicated a little bit by the fact that we have the Magwa crashing the party. And I'm probably going to run out of zombies here in this round before we charge it sufficiently. I'm not sure exactly how many zombies it takes. It feels like it's probably about 20, 25 zombies, something like that. So let's take out the Magwa here, and then we'll have to head into the next round to get enough zombies to charge this thing. So yeah, the Magwas, they're not too bad of a threat, really. I mean, you do get them spawning fairly regularly mid-round or during a regular round in the higher rounds in this map. But what you can actually do, the tactic I use for when it's like, when you're in a higher round and you've got the Magwa spawned in, is just ignore the Magwa. Just like, keep in mind his location, where he is, so he doesn't slam you to death or trap you or something like that. But if you don't take out any of his three mouths, if you just leave him be, he'll be slow. He'll just walk around the map, fairly slow pace. And then you can leave him till you've got maybe one or two zombies left at the end of the round and take him out safely. Because what can happen is, if you're concentrating on him and aiming for those spots and everything, it's easy to get distracted and get trapped by zombies, by the regular zombies. So what I tend to do is, the safe way to do it is just leave him till the end of the round. Don't shoot any of his things out until the end of the round. He'll be nice and slow, kill the rest of the zombies, and then finish him off before the end of the next round. Because if you leave him, he'll actually still continue into the next round, and then you'll possibly end up with more than one Magwa wandering around. Anyway, we have enough points now to pack-a-punch the starting pistol. So remember, this part of the strategy is we're going to get danger closest, the Gobblegum that makes you immune to explosive damage. And we're going to be using these bad boys. The Meat Wagon. It's weird it's dual wield, but they didn't give it the normal dual wield name, like, you know, like Mustang and Sally or Death and Taxes. They usually do that, but they chose to go from Bloodhound to Meat Wagon. Meat Wagon, by the way, is a kind of a slang term for an ambulance, if you're wondering. Alright, so now it's just a matter of getting the right Gobblegum that we need. Now with Gobblegum, I haven't really explained how the machines work, but the one in the just outside the starting area is always active when you start the game. But after you use it a couple of times, it will become inactive and move to a different location. So you just have to wander around and look for where it's located. There's no real visual indicator like with the mystery box. You just have to kind of spot where it is. So we managed to charge up the egg. So that's two of the locations done for us. And now we just have to charge it at the other couple of locations, which are a little bit more dangerous, shall we say. One in particular, you can get into a bit of trouble. So that's why I've done everything really, really early, so that we can get this part of charging the egg done at the lowest possible round, when the zombies are going to be less threatening. Another thing with the zombies in this map is, even on round 2, you can get sprinting zombies. It's kind of good, because that way it mixes it up and changes up the pace a little bit, because a lot of people, you know, complained a little bit about how slow the original zombies was in the first few rounds. But they did add in some sprinters even at round 2. In fact, even in round 1, you can get sprinters if the zombie respawns. Now in this location here, we've got to use the beast mode to break open another box with the tentacle dude statue right here, because that's where we need to place the egg. So that's the main reason that we came up here and went into beast mode. And I'm just going to race down and see if there's anything else I needed to do. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I think I've already done the rift in this area. So yeah, this room here is a bit of a death trap. So you want to be real careful about trying to camp in here solo, unless you've got some super powerful weapons. So even though I have death and taxes, I'm not even going to try camping in there right now until I get danger closest Gobblegum going. Otherwise I could blow myself up. The other thing with death and taxes is they have a really slow reload. Slower than Mustang and Sally used to be, but pretty much the same sort of power with the explosive rounds. So just looking around trying to figure out where the Gobblegum machine is. The active one, that is. And looking at for the different locations where you can find a Gobblegum machine. So that one's not active. There's also Gobblegum machines located in each of the train stations. So I think in this case that's where the next one is located.
Sorry guys, no encore for you.
Yeah, these things though, death and taxes, are super OP, especially in the early rounds. I used to love Black Ops Zombies, how OP it was to get Flopper in like Ascension. Mustang and Sally and Flopper is like the dream combination. And I think the track realized how OP it was, and that's why you won't see Flopper in a lot of these maps. But Flopper would have been a lot of fun to have in this map. Like, can you imagine, like, they don't really have the dolphin dive anymore, but if they made the effect work for boost sliding, I think that would have been pretty cool. The other cool thing in Black Ops 3 Zombies so far is that there's no fall damage, which I really love, which is another effect that Flopper did. So Flopper's almost redundant now because there's no dolphin diving and there's no fall damage, apart from the explosive protection of it. Okay, so trying to get danger closest here, we get stock option. So stock option I like for camping, and it can be a little bit useful for where you're trying to fill the egg in this map, because you can basically just fire continuously without reloading, because the ammo gets taken from your stockpile rather than your magazine of your gun. But again, it's a little bit risky even to rely on that when you're trying to fill this particular egg location here, because the zombies will spawn behind you as well through that window there. And remember, even if they've all spawned into the map already, if you move locations too quickly, the zombies that are lagging behind will respawn in front of you and jump through the window in the location that you're in and stuff like that. So we didn't quite charge the egg in that location yet, but I'm just heading back to a more safer area for us to hang out when the zombies first spawn in. One little trick that you can do for a situation where you have to kill zombies in that specific close quarters area, and it's not very safe to just camp there, you can actually group them up in a tight group, and as long as you keep them located fairly close to you, they won't respawn ahead of you, and then you can just lead them through that area, take out a whole bunch of them next to the egg, and then just get out of there again and just rinse and repeat that strategy. That's something you can also do if you need to. But this is the pretty cool shield dash that you can do. So the shield is powered by that fuel, whatever it is, and you can actually use it to charge through a bunch of zombies. And it's actually pretty deadly, which is quite nice. It does run out of fuel. There's actually a fuel indicator when you're holding the shield that you can see at the top right of the shield. But you can go around and find the little shield the little fuel canisters, and that will recharge the shield. Now the shield is not unbreakable. It will definitely break if it takes too many hits from zombies, but you can just pick it up again basically. Even if you run out of fuel, you can just basically pick it up again once it gets broken, and it'll be fully fueled. Okay, come on, give us danger closest. We definitely want danger closest here. And we got it! There we go. So we had a 1 in 5 chance, so we got it after like the second attempt of getting it. So that's probably almost average odds, I guess. Probably a little bit luckier than normal. But if you start trying to get it early, then eventually by like round 8, you'll definitely have it. Unless you're the unluckiest person alive. Now, I won't buy Widow's Wine just yet in the map, but it is it's an interesting perk. Initially, I thought it was awesome for camping, like for the egg, for filling the egg solo. I thought it was great, but having experienced it a bit more, I'm almost like, I don't really like it that much. It can definitely protect you and save your ass, but at the same time, it does things that can also trap you and get you stuck. In the higher rounds, if you have it, like specifically you don't want to use it for some of these early round steps in this map, because what it can do is if a zombie just touches you, it can kill the zombie. And the VMP, I'm super tempted to buy that. I love that gun, but probably a bit of a waste of money. I do need ammo though. That's the problem I'm having in the game right now. So that's why I'm looking around, trying to work out what I'm going to do. Probably go hit the box or something like that. See what we can get out of the box. How cool. By the way, that's the Civil Protector. That's where you click on that. It's 2,000 points, but definitely worth it. So let's see what we get here. The mystery box looks awesome, by the way. And we get the ray gun, so get quite lucky. The ray gun is probably one of the best weapons to get in this map as your secondary after the wonder weapon. Because it's just awesome for popping things like the meatballs that we'll see later, the flying creatures, and the Magwa heads. So I really recommend the ray gun. You just have to watch out a little bit for the splash damage if you're using it against zombies like that are standing right next to you. But it's not too bad actually. So yeah, we're going to be trying out some of the perks in this map and trying to get a good combo that works most effectively for this map. And by the end of this playthrough, I pretty much settled on the perks that I wanted to use and that I found were the most useful for this map. But now that we have danger closest, we have the ray gun, we have death and taxes, we're pretty much cruising here. For the next 3 rounds, we can just blast away with our explosive rounds and take out the zombies pretty safely here. This Magwa was a little bit inconvenient because he can do that slam attack if I just stand there, and we can't take him out. We can't take him out without shooting his heads off. I'm just going to call them heads. I know they're like mouths or something, but they must be his head as well, right? You just can't just have a mouth without a head. Maybe there are rules of anatomy don't apply for these creatures. But they do have a lot of teeth for some reason. So yeah, he'll teleport basically to your location if you get too far away from him. As will the flying creatures. So just leading the zombies around here. Now, at this point, if you do get a Magwa and you're trying to fill those eggs, it's probably best just to take him somewhere safer and take him out and then go back to filling the eggs, rather than risking doing everything in that one fairly close quarters area. So you can see how easy it is, especially in these lower rounds, taking out the Magwa's head with the ray gun. The ray gun is pretty awesome. To be honest, like the ray gun is a really iconic weapon from zombies. It was in the very first map in Narc on Totem in World of War as pretty much the wonder weapon for that first map. But I haven't used it a lot in some of the recent stuff in Black Ops 2 because we had the ray gun Mark II and some better weapons than it. But in this map, it's actually really good. It's definitely worth holding on to. Okay, so now, still trying to get those things to work, but yeah, I'm doing it wrong. So just ignore that. I wish the tripwire, the trip mines were a little bit more powerful than they are. Just shoot that guy out of the way. Again, that's the beauty of Death and Taxes. Or, sorry, it's not Death and Taxes. I've been calling it Death and Taxes. That's from the Giant. where the starting pistol does pretty much the same thing. I kind of wish they changed it up a little bit, because both of the new starting pistols, when you pack punch them, become dual wield explosive rounds, just like Mustang and Sally, but it's almost like too traditional. Like, you know, the starting pistol in Origins, that had that really cool sight and laser effect. Something really powerful but unique would have been nice to see, and maybe we'll see something like that in some of the DLC zombies maps eventually. Okay, so we trained the zombies through here, and even though we try to keep them fairly close, they still jump through the window on us, but we only need like 1 or 2 zombies there to finish off that egg. So I think at this point we only have one more location to charge the egg up in, and that is the Footlight District. So we're going to make our way there and do that one. And then we'll have the next step to do in getting the Apothicon Sword. So we're just going to head on through here, and this statue is located right here next to the stairway we haven't opened up yet. And I think at this point I was like heading through to get another zombie shield. Oh no, I already have one actually, so...
Sorry guys, no encore for you.
Watching this, I think we were just going to unlock some of this stuff that was still locked. So the gate here, for some reason I didn't zap that properly when we came through here with the first beast run for the ritual piece.
Am I okay? Is everything normal?
And right here is one of the great things about no fall damage in zombies. You can just escape like that. There's quite a few areas where you can drop down from they're not exactly catwalks, but the walkway areas. You can actually buy barriers that open up the railing on that, so you can drop down from there, which is quite useful because there's not much room to get past zombies if you're running up there in higher rounds, unless you can shoot your way out of trouble, which later on you can actually do pretty easily as long as you get the wonder weapon. So there's a couple of things here that I haven't unlocked yet in beast mode, like that rift entrance for the Footlight area, but we'll eventually get to all of that later on.